This is GACenter, your look into the Grand Arena Championship matches of over 60 of the world's best content creators. Here are your hosts, the Nev from the Escape Podcast and Ranger from Reality Skewed Gamers.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Escape Podcast Does GACenter. I'm your host, the Nev, and as always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Ranger J1999 from RSG. How you doing, Ranger?
Good to be here. Glad to be here. Another week of GAC in the books with everything flipping on its head today as both Cat and, you must not forget, 7-star Razor Crest is now a part of the game. And
Yep, that is a good point.
Razor Crest is good.
How
Cat,
good?
Much better. It's okay. It's better than, it does a little bit more, but Cat, oh my God. We'll get to this later on, but oh my God, is that going to be a game changer for GAC? You just watch, folks.
I'm looking forward to. I might not necessarily. I don't have a 7-star Razor Crest yet, but the jump in GP going from 5 to 6 was. I wasn't expecting that. Wasn't expecting quite a leap, but there it was. So. Hey, we'll have to wait and see. It's my bounty hunters is still a reserve team, always will be. It's never going to be one of my primary teams, but if they ever give us Hando Anaka as a pirate with his like flying saucer as shit. Who knows? If they're going to give us Omega as a character, then. I don't see it outside the realm of possibility that they give us Hando Anaka in capital ship bounty hunt for the bounty hunters. That would be interesting. A lot of people would go for that.
I think so.
Anyway, our mod is here. The world famous Cake Gaming is here. I'll just be here to say if you do follows, if we get any bits, any cheers, any subscriptions, any hype trains, things like that, they will be acknowledged in the chat by the mod. But we'll just keep talking through because. After all, you don't see the people on Sports Center stopping for a tweet.
No.
Or do they? No, they don't. So we are going to get on with the show, and we are going to start where we always do.
How about we start at the beginning?
6, at the beginning in Division 6, and we start off with Sephironis, who went 2-1 for the week. Round 1, very fun round. Soft defense on his opponent's part, and he got the one-shot full clear. Round 2, pretty much more of the same. Solid player. Got the win on efficiency and obviously that one-shot full clear. Round 3 faced a GL Ray. Seth knew that he couldn't beat her, so he maximized his opponent's pain, which in turn almost put him in striking distance of winning. One shot cleared everything, did his opponent, and he tried his best to extract every banner that he could, but in the end, he only lost by 11 banners. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's not nice to face a GL in Division 6, but that's the way things happen now. So 2-1 for Sephironis.
All right, we move on to the Greed Gamer, a.k.a. Marco.
Polo.
Well, I'm not going to continue that little game because I didn't get a report from the World Traveler. So, Nev.
Okay.
My
bad. I still haven't done the shame thing, but shame. Just
shame.
I'm ringing the bell now.
Yes,
Shame.
Shame. 2-1. Don't know anything else, so let's move on.
And we move on to Stone.
There's Stone.
I like Stone. He is to the point. He writes down what he says. So round 1, sloppy, low banners, but a win. Round 2, kept the sloppy train rolling, but still took another win. Round 3, just win. His takeaway from this week is not to water down squads so much, but find a balance that does the business. So 3-0 for Stone.
All right, next up we have my man, the Canadian rocker himself, Mr. Andy Beads, who went 2-1 this week. Pretty short to the point. He was like, round 1, opponent auto deployed, cleared everything but fleet, win. Round 2, opponent did not attack, cleared everything but fleet, win. He says round 3, opponent attacked but did not full clear. Dropped a battle on my back wall, and all I had to do was one shot full clear the squads. Did a couple mirror matches, which were a bad move, and it cost me. So then it came down to just full clearing, and I could not punch through their fleet. Tough week for the Canadian rocker. 2-1 for Andy B. So get him next week.
To infinitum and beyond.
And oh my goodness, look what he did. He did the same thing.
I know he got a 3-0 round 1. Very messy battle. Expensive GL counter failed, and he had no options to clear Slacker and the top wall. So he took down the top section while his opponent secured the south. Luckily for Infinitum, though, he didn't realize that top is worth more, so he won on better defense placement. So good for Infinitum round 1. Round 2, opponent went light on defense and had already preloaded Slacker. Yeah, you hate to see it. Decided to do science and failed with the JMK solo on GG, but crushed the rest for a full clear and an easy win. Opponent got stuck on his front wall. Round 3, opponent never cleared a Slacker with a GL counter before on his history. This was just his history, of course. Histories can be deceiving, but he was able to do so for the first time in this round. No issue, as Infinitum cleared his Slacker with the JMK Padme for 59 banners, and he won on efficiency by 29 banners. 3-0 for Infinitum.
That's what I expect.
And there is Div 6. No more undefeated.
It's a two-man horse race.
It is a two-man horse race. Infinitum Stone. I mean, just it's Infinitum. It's an effective round. I mean, he's got like 2,000. He's got like more than 2,000 in banners. He's got a lot of banners.
One loss, so
Infinitum can.
That means nothing.
Yeah, he's going to need Stone's going to need that loss, unfortunately. So, and these are the two top. They are good contenders. So, I can't see them losing that many rounds in the remaining 6 weeks. So, we'll see what it's like when 3v3 comes back, because things kind of do change up then. Okay, let's move on to Div 5.
Let's do it. All right, we start off with remember some strange date in November. V for Vendetta. He went 2-1. And that's all I know, because he didn't submit a report. So, Nev, let me hear it.
Shame. I'm ringing the bell.
Oh, boy. So, 2-1 solid week for V, but I can't tell you anything else.
Princess Scribbles.
Hey, Scribbles.
He's back to his good stuff with a 3-0. Round 1, easy start to the week. 2 GLs versus 2 GLs. His opponent set Ray on defense, as did Princess Scribbles. However, his opponent failed to clear out his Ray, so couldn't reveal the fleet. And Scribe steamrolled his opponent for a one-shot full clear. Round 2, another pretty straightforward matchup for Scribbles. By the time he got to the attack phase, his opponent had already, done a full one-shot full clear. So he was mildly concerned, but not overly worried, because his banners were terrible, despite the fact that he hadn't actually dropped anything. So obviously, Scribe's defense had done its job of stripping banners. Lots of banners thievery going on there. Scribe played cautious enough, took out the Slacker, and ensured that he maintained a decent banner score. Absolutely nothing on his defense that really worried him. So he took the win by more than 40 banners. Round 3. This one he was concerned over. He was concerned. The guy had a good record, good lifetime banners, good mods, 3 GLs to Scribe's 2. His defense, however, was always pretty static, so pretty predictable. So he plotted out his attacks, and he knew exactly what to expect. He wasn't particularly efficient with his offense, but he did get the one-shot full clear because he was able to plan so meticulously. Took out his full Relic CLS squad and JMK team hidden in the back wall. He attacked in the last hour, but could not full clearing, dropping 2 battles on the back wall, Darth Revan and the GG. Very, very good. Excellent score. Triple crown for Scribe.
All right. Moving on to Guten Tag, Herr Fräulein. I am here to read my stats for your pleasure. Would you like to hear them?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
ist gut, ja.
they are delicious stats this week, so let's look at them. Of course, we're talking about our favorite German, Reinhard the Fox. And he says, new week, interesting opponents on the paper. That's a little note he left me. 3-0, so we'll see. Round one says, don't know what my opponent did. They didn't clear his zone, although he went medium on defense. So mysteries all around from Renard. He says, round two, opponent with interesting roster, almost same to mine. Surprisingly, my newly relic GG had a hold, and after that, the opponent stopped attacking. So another person didn't really commit. And the round three, opponent goes in accordance to SWGOH.gg profile, very offensive heavy. Relying on his profile, I switched the defense to make him as much a problem as possible. His opponent didn't even show up. All that work for Renard, and it didn't even matter. So it's a 3-0. Opponent started slowly to speed up. He says he's hoping the opponent starts speeding up, hopefully, because that was a pretty easy 3-0 for Renard.
Mr. Bojangles.
Man, he had a plan in GAC.
Yeah, only got a 2-1. Lost round one. Went against an opponent with a slacker. I mean, he was able to clear the slacker in one shot. He used C with Watt and some Sith. He can't quite remember how it worked, but it did. And apparently it was epic. But then he had a loss against a strong Geos team and another with his Rebels versus a Tarkin fleet. So he was able to full clear, but his opponent was more efficient. Still close match. Came back with a bang in round two. One shot full cleared his board. A DNS from his opponent. And then round three, another one shot full clear. Didn't see opponents attack. However, they saved it all for offense. So, it wasn't that difficult. He was disappointed to lose round one, but hey, the highlight, he still had a great round because he took down a slacker with a C, which was pretty badass. 2-1 for Mr. Bojangles.
Very nice. Nicely done, sir. All right, next up is the world famous. Put your cameras away. You don't have the right to take her pictures. She's world famous for a reason. Had a tough week this week. Didn't get the 3-0, which is what we usually expect from the world famous Kate Gaming. But let's see what happened. She got 2-1. Said round one was a win. Opponent only dropped one battle against my fleets, but I got the one shot full clear and the win as a result. So she's starting off strong, Nev.
Mm-hmm.
Then round two, oh no, Nev, this is the loss. Just his opponent got the full clear, but dropped a couple of battles. I one shot everything except for the last fleet, which I couldn't get by. Fleet tripped up the world famous Kate Gaming. Oh no. And then round three was an auto set, so she got the full clear on that. So 2-1 for the lovely Kate Gaming.
Geek Girl.
Oh no!
Oh no! Geek Girl forgot to join.
Oh well, we have to do it now.
She forgot to join.
Oh, we can't shame her because she didn't join. Okay.
No, we can't.
She didn't put any stats. Okay, so that's more of a like, oopsie. oh no. Well.
Don't think she was firing out reminders like an hour before the join period, so I don't think she forgot to join this week. And there is Division 5. Nobody undefeated.
No. Wow.
Nobody undefeated. But Renard the Fox did get to extend his lead, courtesy of a Mr. Bojangles slip up this week. Mr. Bojangles slipped up this week, and he's got the Mr. Bojangles. Renard the Fox, he's got the banners, he's got the extra round. 6 weeks left to go. We're gonna have to wait and see, aren't we? But Princess Scribbles has found his form again, so he's just waiting for people to trip up. He's just waiting for people to trip up. Anyway, let's move on to the most important division of all.
That's right.
Division 4.
All right. Let's see here. 2-1 for our boy Darth. Not a high quitter. He's a low quitter.
He's a low quitter.
That's right. He likes to quit low. 2-1 for our man with the plan. He says round one. Says I played a fairly heavy defense, dropped a battle against Night Sisters. They still occasionally surprise me and stun everything and start killing characters before I get things back under control. Exact same team used Priority Week to complete a quest with Mano killing the zombie to complete this one shot. Still won the round, and SLKR held on defense. Round two played a solid defense again, full cleared, no problems. Ran the opponent pretty much out of good offensive teams and really no chance. Says round three did not put a GO on defense. Opponent played first, had a massive score, challenged me to play for efficiency. Lots of solos and clever offense for high banners, and I was on track for the win. Then I dropped a battle to a rebel fleet and just got shut down. It's been a long time since I dropped around due to fleet. Some lessons learned and a 22-49 total banner loss. So he had it. It was in his grasp, Nev, that 3-0, and he just couldn't quite get it.
And we move on to Urza with a 1 and 2. You know what? Round one, he had such a dominant start to the week. A dominant start to the. I mean, right? He did need a double tap on a GG team, but
Sure.
he came out with a win and a full clear in round one, and then round two, like a really close match. I mean, ultimately, Urza only lost by a few banners. I mean, his opponent, just like Urza, needed a few double taps here and there. But, he needed less than Urza. And then round three, Urza felt the wrath of JML as he just couldn't do it, just couldn't clear it. So the heartthrob of the Outer Rim having trouble with JML. But that's not why people go. People go to watch him for the entertainment value, don't they? Oh, God, the money. One of the most iconic sets.
I was watching another stream and working on something, and I had that up, and I was in Discord talking with people.
Like, I was there. I was there when it happened. Yeah. It was the funniest thing.
All right, let's try it again one more time. All right. Oh God, the money!
Oh God, the money!
I'm the only man alive who could mess this up.
Anyway, let's move on from the house.
All right, we move on to my boy Tilo Mad 92, who had another awesome week this week. He says 3-0 for the week, still undefeated so far. He says round one started the week off well with a win, but kind of sucked. My opponent didn't attack my defense, so he had a no-show. And then round two, so the opponent actually attacked my defense, however, and got caught up on gas and only cleared one zone. And then round three, my best opponent of the week let me surprise GML in the back zone from his history. Was a new move for him and paid off. Had to two-tap it when it came to my defense, my back zone ray holding him from a full clear, which was nice, not allowing my opponent to full clear me this week. So 3-0, different types of battles from different types of opponents, but still got the 3-0. Nicely done, sir.
It's Llama time.
Hey, how's he doing? Hey,
the Llama coming in with a 2-1. They're starting to get they're starting to get better at this whole defense thing. So round one,
yep.
Round one win, pretty sloppy on their part. Gave their opponent a couple of holds, but they could not clear them, so pulled out the victory. Round two, the loss. This was the only opponent this week that actually got to clear the Llama's defense, and they did it cleanly. Couldn't keep up with the efficiency, unfortunately, and that was where the loss kicked in on efficiency. Round three, win, good, clean, full clear on offense. Opponent left 2 territories again, and they could not get through. 2-1 for the Llama.
All right, who's next? Oh, God. All right, here we go. It's the Nav who went 3-0.
Triple crown.
Can I read the thing? Why don't you just tell everybody what happened since you just want to jump?
No. You read it. You read it.
You sure? Yeah. If you don't mind me just reading what you wrote,
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'm just
okay.
Do my part here. So, Nev says 3-0 triple crown. And then round one says auto deploy with a DNS, so I didn't even bother streaming. I wouldn't either. Round two, low lifetime banner score, who basically you figured he was going to auto deploy. You kept everything. He didn't, but he still set up looks like a pretty defense, which you fulfilled.
Yeah, he did.
And then it says round three. 550k lifetime. He's too heavy on defense, so they couldn't defeat my back line. And you picked up the flawless victory and took Imperial Remnant, in which Wampa gets my mouthwash for the feat. 24 win streak. I'm having a good time with my GL, even though I haven't faced an opponent with the GL since I got mine. So, Nev 3-0, anything you'd like to add to your glory of the 3?
No, it was a pretty straightforward week. Nothing too tough, nothing too tasking, easy peasy.
Sure. Well, there you go.
Spartan.
Oh no! What happened?
But it's easy. We don't know. We have absolutely no idea. We don't know if he didn't join. We don't know if he did join and just had a bad week because we didn't get a report. But
I mean,
we had a glitch. We had 4 competitors this week that glitched out on the scrape, on the data scrape that we get every single week. So
let
4 competitors. 4 competitors. Yeah.
Spartan, remember, when you're doing GAC, you either bring back your shield or you lie upon it. Either way, we want those stats, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, let's move on.
And we move on to round B, 2-1. The first 2 wins were challenging, but he was still able to pull off the wins. For the 3rd round, his opponent put down a stout defense and was able to full clear round. A Darth Revan full relic and Padme full relic team were just too much for Rand's offense to break through. 2-1 keeps haunting him, and at this point,
really
he would just love to start stringing 3 wins in a week together again. So consistent, but not in the way that he wants to be.
I need to go when I get some time. I just never seem to have it. Go on a stream and see what he's doing and give me. Maybe we need to help. We need to help our boy Randy.
Definitely.
All right. Next up, we have
the
Tickle Tank Master himself, the man with the most fabulous hair in the community. Of course, Mr. Jigabachi, won't you be my neighbor? And he went, well, of course, what Mr. Jig always does. He went 3-0 for the Tickle Tank. He says, I only lost a front bot zone in each round. No opponent even opening ships. If not for Blue Stack Crash, I would have full cleared every round. Round 1 says, like Shaq in the paint with some high school team, nothing but monster dunks. He won by like 1,100 banners. The next one he won by 1,000. Says, during the stream, I was teaching Chet how to make a tie-dye t-shirts out of opponent's blood. We all hot boys now. Hot boys. He's doing a little Duran Duran there. And in round 2, this is where he says, crush some dudes, brand new glow, Compton, Blue Stacks Crash, deny me a full clear. I called up Blue Stacks Ranger Karen style and went bananas, yelling and scoring touchdowns and stern looks. So we banged it out with Justify My Love, playing unsexy and mad. So, I mean, I'm just saying what he did. So,
yeah.
Okay. But 3-0 for Jake.
Fort Mort.
Shop S-Mart.
Fort Mort, round 1, collector account with lots of relics and fun characters. Put the majority of his relics on D. He did keep a few characters. Fort Mort full cleared him, and his opponent was a DNS. Round 2, 708k banner guy with 600 plus undersized victories. Didn't give him any US for his greedy ass. Hard D. Fort Mort just thought, you know what? Nah, you ain't getting no undersized. So he went hard D. He got 8 defense and only cleared 1 area. Oh, and 1 ship. Fort Mort got the full clear, toyed with Jawas so that he can let me say that he didn't get a whammy. You didn't get a whammy. You didn't get a crown. It's not a whammy, it's a crown. Get it right, Fort Mort.
It's another 3-0 for Fort Mort. I mean,
yes. Some hashtags here. Hashtag 3 undefeated accounts. Hashtag 66 for baby account. Hashtag didn't need no stinking banners. Yeah, well, when we look at the table, we'll see just how many banners you're going to.
It's what Mort does, man. He's about the spreadsheet and the victory.
He's about the wins. He don't care about no banners.
He don't care about how it goes. He just cares about the wins. All right, next up is Darth Kermit. And I'd love to do a report for you guys this week, but can I get the shame action there, please, there, Nev? Because we
Shame.
Which is a damn
Shame.
shame because he went 3-0. I would love to see how. I mean, you can tell from the stats he kicked some ass.
Oh yeah, he definitely kicks some
I
ass.
didn't.
Triple whammy, nice banner score.
I didn't get a report, so I can't tell you what happened. So
I'll be having words.
that's right. You get him, Nev.
Oh, it's Mr. Awesome. It's Calvin.
Oh
Awesome.
my God, another 3-0. I mean, just
Another
goddamn lose. This is getting out of control.
Just never loses. Round one. Opponent likes to do Ray and Pray. Guess what? Didn't work. You can Ray and Pray all you like.
The old Ray and Pray, eh?
It's Calvin Awesome. So it's Ray and really, really pray. Like to every single, to the thousands of gods that have ever existed in the, humanity's existence. He failed 2 attacks and just conceded. Round 2, Calvin put a lot on defense, did some pretty risky battles, and, he even dropped a battle using Gear 11 Bad Batch versus First Order. And the chance of winning was very slim, but he got too excited. His opponent didn't touch his back wall, though. So win. Round 3, guy puts 2 Galactic Legends on defense and then keeps his fingers crossed that you don't do the same to him. Calvin did. And then beat his Ray with Dreven and his JML with JMK and Gear 11 Cam. He hit a soft max, and his opponent didn't get a single wall. 3-0, 105 streak.
Unreal. All right, we move on to not Django, not Boba, but Boma Fett. Part of a proud tradition of Mandalorians here on the GACenter. And he went 2-1 this week. Oh no, what happened? Let's see what's going on with Boma. Round 1 says opponent with SLKR auto set defense. Luckily, I was expecting it based on his stats and saved my best teams and easily full cleared. Round 2, he says, when I fell spectacularly, a complete and total meltdown. It started when I made a mistake setting my D that allowed my opponent to clear more than he should have. Then I had 2 reliable counters fail, resulting in a domino effect of failures. It was an embarrassingly poor showing. But you know what? He says, I came back in round 3, got back on track with the easy full clear. So tough middle loss, but he got the 2-1, and that's all you can ask for.
And there is Division 4.
Sweet Jesus, look at this.
And I'm never catching his banner. I'm never catching Calvin's banner. It's just not going to, I'm just,
God, what a, look at this division, Jesus.
I'm pulling away from the banner count of the people behind me, but at the same time, I'm pulling away from them. Calvin's he
doesn't care.
God. He doesn't care. He just doesn't care.
He just does what he does. He doesn't care about you, Nev, and your idiosyncrasies. He's going to do what he does, and he's going to win. You have.
I just don't see how I'm going to.
Unexpected. You're going to have to try to. You get a hope for a miracle here, Nev.
Yes, I just don't see how I'm going to make up 300 banners in 6 weeks.
I don't know what the hell you're going to do.
3v3.
Just be like me, man. Just be like me in Division 2, man. I'm having a great season, but I'm going to lose a couple. 3 to 5 is what I plan to lose out of 48, right? That's typically what I do. I go 43 to 45 in whatever losses. I ain't catching those monsters at the top. The damn bastards either go undefeated or only lose once. And I was like, you know what? I'll just do what I can do. It'll let the chips fall where they may.
I am playing for silver, though. I am playing for silver.
Much, right?
That shiny silver name.
You still got Kermit, who's having a hell of a season.
Yeah, I've still got Kermit and Fortmort behind me.
And then Fortmort. Mortmort. Mortmort's going to keep it. He's going to keep you honest there, homie.
Yeah, he will do. Anyway, we are going to have a pregnant pause here so that I can put a break in, and we'll be right back.
Welcome into the Patreon leaderboard, made possible by the Patreons of the Escape Pod cast. Would you like to be on GACenter along with our other great Patreons at the Kyber Combatant level or higher? Sign up there and at patreon.com/theescapepodcast and join these wonderful people. Whether you're watching this on GACenter or during the podcast itself, we welcome you to the show. This is a Patreon version of what Neil and Ranger do every week for some of the very, very best streamers on GACenter, hosted right here on the Escape Podcast. If you're not a streamer but would like to join go ahead and sign up. Let's get to it right here. We've got Big Country Mags, who goes 2-0, 60-60 in banners. That's pretty cool. 26 wins, 4 losses, 10 holds. D goes 1-2, 44-16, 13 wins for the week, 1 loss, 4 holds. Looks like they might have given up halfway through. Dark Helmet 2-1 with the most banners, I believe. I do believe so. Taking a look over here over my shoulder. Yes. So the most banners for this week goes to Dark Helmet, 7,940. 36 wins, 5 losses, 5 holds. Dr. JoJo, the king of the holotables currently, 3-0, at least in the Patreon. 7,157 in banners, 32 wins, 3 losses, 12 holds. Force Strong goes 2-1, 6,032 with 26 up, 3 down, and holding tight. Hot Sauce, who, by the way, you might know him. He's the author of Hot Bots, or of Hot Bot. He's not a streamer, but he is a Patreon, so he can be on the board. 2-1, 76-17, 35 wins, 15 losses, and 14 impressive holds. Narman, he goes 1-2, 3,763 with 9 wins, 0 losses, 2 holds. Looks like he didn't do much during the week. We'll see him next week. Now, I no longer actively stream, so I'm on the leaderboard here for, you guys can fight against me. And believe it or not, for the first time ever in my GAC history that I can remember, I've gone 3-0, 7,888 banners, 36 wins, 2 losses, 5 holds. 3-0, all full clears. Ladies and gentlemen, I got myself a triple whammy as well. Whee! All right, looking at the Patreon board, Dr. JoJo currently in the lead by just over 400 banners over me. Dark Helmet, Hot Sauce, and BCM, and Schnarman all coming in at 4-2. Force Strong at the Mendoza line of 3-3, and D at 1-5. It's halfway through the season. We will see how all of this shakes out. Stay tuned to find out if maybe I'll hit Kyber for the first time ever. It'll be fun to see. Guys, stick around. More coming up after this. Whether or not you're watching GACenter or the Escape Podcast, nice to each other, damn it.
And we're back.
Hey, look at that.
Let's move on
Let's
to
do it.
Division 3. And we kick off Division 3 with Yeti.
The dirtiest, abominable.
Another 3-0, another Triple Crown. Round 1, as usual, he had his opponent outmodded, had an extra GL, and he set a pretty wicked defense. Now, his opponent did set a decent defense, except he set that stupid Basti JML JKL what team. And yet he always finds himself asking why? Why would someone set such an expensive and easily countered team? His opponent apparently sets it every single round, so Yeti did the only thing he knew best, and he got the 60 banners and shook his head. His opponent beat the easiest team in Yeti's front wall, and then promptly gave up. Easy win for Yeti. Round 2, fancy new JMK owner over here. And Yeti had him completely outmodded. It was pretty straightforward. He cheesed the defense and attacked with all his GLs, and Yeti smashed his board with one-shots. With a pretty decent score as well. Obviously, he took all his GLs on offense and had nothing for his Peekaboo Ray and Peekaboo Slacker teams in the back. He guessed he overkilled stuff on the front with his GLs. Oops! Easy win for Yeti. Round 3, this guy had equal GLs, but had a fancy new Ultimate JMK to Yeti's C, which he didn't have. Yeti had this opponent completely outmodded, though, again, and, he did still expect a tough battle, though. It wasn't tough, though. He set JMK on the bottom front and his Ray on the front top. And, Yeti swatted his board with one-shots, undermanning his JMK, and then waited for him to start attacking. He started off well, taking down Yeti's Ray for 58. Then he failed and T-unloaded a Darth Revan and gave up. 40 minutes remaining, but, it was all over. And Yeti picked up yet another Triple Crown.
That's what he does, man.
What he does.
All right, we move on to Here Comes
Here comes
Wrangler.
Wrangler.
He's one tough customer, and he went 3-0. Had a hell of a good week. Wrangler says 3-0 this week. Round 1, full clear. Opponent never attacked. Let's sigh. Round 2, full clear again, and the opponent never attacked or even set ships. Let's sigh. He says round 3 was the trifecta full clear this round, but not clean. Lost battles to GG and Geos before getting my groove on and finishing strong. Opponent attacked. Hell yeah. He got stuck on my mouth and bam in the top zone and never got to ships. Weird week, but successful. He didn't want to let us know. Says I'm out next 1 to 2 weeks on vacation. We'll still try to get GAC and post results. See y'all on the other side. That's right. You're gonna be out in there in the prairie doing some cowboy stuff. So enjoy your vacation, sir.
And we move on to the Wolf.
Oh no!
Only got a 2-1. Let's see
Get
what
little
happened.
John and Friar Tuck. What is going on?
Let's see what happened. Round 1 went relatively smooth. Checked some history, placed some teams that he knew his opponent had trouble with before, and it worked a treat. Dropped the battles all over the board, and 2 teams left standing on the back zone. Wolf comes in with a one-shot full clear. Flawless victory. Easy win. Round 2. Matchmaking decided to have its way with him again. There's a lot of people having their way with the Wolf at the moment, and especially matchmaking. 3 GLs to his opponent's 5. Outdated, out-relicked, and a very solid player at that. The Wolf's only hope was that they would have trouble with his double get-to fleet defense, so he placed as many banner-stealing teams as he could, as was, efficient on offense as he could be for, 3 of his 5 GLs. But alas, it was all in vain. Opponent messaged me that they almost dropped a fleet battle, but 53 banners versus his negotiator was enough to overtake him and get the win. So, unfortunately, round 2 was the loss. Round 3 was a gift. Opponent had a pretty horrendous history, so he really wasn't expecting that much out of him, and went even worse for him than he expected. 1 zone cleared, the top zone. That was it. 1 fleet left standing, 1 squad left standing, bottom front, while the Wolf walked away with his highest banner score of the season, and all 3 of his GLs with 1 on defense. Pumped for some insta-kill commando Tano action next week, because, well, it sounds like he's got his. So maybe that will make things easier for him. 3-0 missing for the Wolf, 2-1 this week.
Well, we'll get him next week. All right, you down for RKP?
Yeah, you know me.
He is back, our favorite French Canadian. He's up there in Canada with that good French whiskey and maple syrup, eh? He says 2-1. Camping trip over the weekend, therefore little to report on my fights. But better than the last round for sure, but still, Nev, a hurtful loss. He writes, round 1, win. That's all we know. Round 1 was a win. Round 2, Nev, was a win, but that's all we know. Round 3, this was the loss. He says it was because of fleets and due to my attacks in the last 30 minutes. He says, and I quote Nev, I'll be back. You son of a... No, I'm not going to say the rest. All right, so 2-1 for RKP.
Slugmug.
Oh,
2-1 again. He has banished the round 1 losing blues, but it seems to have switched from losing round 1 to losing round 2. So round 1, opponent had all his best teams in front of both rows, but he got through, took the fleet out, had nothing left in the tank to beat his fully zated OR team, which was the last team standing. And then obviously, his opponent couldn't get through the south front zone, nor could he beat Slugmug's fleet. Win in round 1. Round 2, this one, he does say he does take responsibility for his actions in round 2. He easily got through both front rows, and when he saw trash in the back, he was having way too much fun with chat, trying out different team comps that got his opponent a few holds. They both full cleared, but obviously his opponent was more efficient because he was more disciplined. So he blew a 3-0 in round 2, messing around, playing with chat. Round 3, Same type of defenses as round 2 opponent with strong front rows and trash in the back for the full clear. He did have a bit of a misplay on his part. He didn't check the mods on his opponent's Ewoks. He puts a smile on his face when he sees they held against a Gear 10C. He waited until late Sunday to start attacking and stopped 2 hours before the reset. Doesn't know quite why, but he's not going to argue because he walked away with a victory. 2-1 for Slugmug.
All right, we move on to the Heathen. the sexier version of Boma.
Yeah.
His brother.
With a loss in the column.
I know.
After a 100 streak.
I know. So he says, round 1, I had a bit of a fail in scouting my first round opponent. I suspected he was likely going to auto-deploy his defense, and I planned accordingly, but he didn't auto-deploy. Instead a very weak defense. I found myself in a fishing match, and my opponent was able to one-shot full clear me. Thankfully, I was more efficient and eked out a close victory. Round 2, this round, my opponent set a solid defense, but didn't have enough to clear me. I dropped a couple battles along the way, but still was able to get the full clear and easy win. Round 3, my last opponent had the GL advantage over me. He set them all on defense, and as a result, wasn't able to full clear my board. Although I demolished the rest of his defense, my off-meta counter on his extra GL failed, and I was left unable to clear his SLKR. For the first time in 10 months, I ended up on the losing side. A 2-1 week, he writes, my 105 match winning streak finally comes to an end. I look forward to get a new one started next round. So, after 105 wins,
all runs must come to an end at some point.
Yes, it does. So
they do. They always have to come to an end at some point.
Yep.
Let's move on to the table with Yeti now standing tall as the only undefeated competitor in Division 3. That's looking good.
It's looking competitive. I like it.
It's looking good. It's looking good for Yeti. Yeti has always been unfortunate in that he's very, very good. He's very competitive. He has an exquisite roster, especially regarding his mods. But he's always been in there with other people that are in and around where he is that just seem to do more undefeateds than him. So he's in a GP bracket that kind of sets him off on his own, and he's taking full advantage of that. And let's be honest, I fully expect Yeti to be at the top of Division 3 and take away the Division 3 crown at the end of this season, unless, of course, he does drop one. But then Heathen's going to have to make up quite a big banner difference, because that is a huge gulf banner difference-wise. So Yeti, he's flying high. He's basically got, a freebie loss in the bag. We'll see what happens over the next 6 weeks. But, yeah, I would bet the house on Yeti coming out on top.
Well, we've seen stranger things happen.
We have seen stranger things happen. I mean, we did see some freakishness happen at the end of Season 2 when Fort Mort lost twice at the end of the month, which was just like, seriously, it's like, dude, you go like Season 1 losing once and Season 2 losing, and then all of a sudden you lose twice in a month. Yeah, so we have seen some freaky stuff.
That's the kind of freaky stuff. He's like, you just don't expect that. You're just like, what?
Freaky stuff does tend to happen in the final months of our seasons. It really does.
Yeah.
Things just go wrong for competitors.
Strange.
So we'll just have to see.
Dogs sleeping with cats. I mean, full Armageddon. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the biggest division of all.
Oh.
Yes, it's Division 2. And we start off with a man who is on fire right now. He is on a 33 win streak. He went 3-0 with a triple crown. He is
since he gave up the shoeies.
Ever since he gave up the shoeies, he's given up the shoeies. He's keeping the beard trimmed. So 3-0, round 1. Opponent seriously struggled against defensive teams. He was unable to clear the front-bottom territory after dropping 3 battles on a Padme team, 3 battles on Gas without clearing him. So a firm hold from a Gas. 2 battles against CLS and 2 against JTR. And then just to top it all off, the icing on the cake, 2 holds from Mon Mothma. Guess what he did? Flawless victory. Round 2. Opponent started strong, clearing his bottom front wall, but then dropped a battle against JTR and wasn't able to clear the back wall slacker. Nice, clean, easy, flawless victory in response. Round 3, a monstrous 2,673 score. He beat his opponent by 100 banners. The first opponent to clear him in about 10 matches as well. So even though this guy full cleared grid, he still lost by 100 banners. That's absolutely nuts. All in, Gridden is having a lot of fun doing his homework, and he really, really is loving Division 2 and kicking ass. 3-0 Triple Crown for Gridzy.
They're doing very nicely. All right, move on to the Bounty Hunter Whisperer, the man we know as Van Seal, who had another tough week. He says he was 1-2, but he was on vacation this week in Cancun. And as he says, GC wasn't my main concern, but still gave it a solid effort. I don't blame you. I think if we were in Cancun, I don't think GAC we would be giving all on that. So just throwing that out there as tequila and margaritas were more on his mind than GAC. Good job, sir. Says round 1 started off strong with a deficiency win. He's like, hey, I'm 1-0. I'm on vacation. This is working out. Then round 2. He says, I lost due to bad RNG against Ray. And then round 3 says, I tried streaming while stuck in the airport. That was interesting. But with lack of sleep and stuck in the airport all night, I made a crucial error against crew, leading me to losing the efficiency battle. So there we go.
And let's move on to the next competitor, who is Thisk, who is back to his winning ways.
There we go.
3-0, triple whammy. Round 1, opponent 2 shots, 3 squads. Opponent also put 3 Galactic Legends on defense. Thought he was being sneaky, hiding JML in the back. Now, Thisk did have to 2-shot a Darth Revan, but everything else was a 1-shot, and he won the round. Round 2, opponent had to 2-shot a fleet. And then, what did Thisk do? Flawless victory. He did actually think that his opponent's defense was going to be a little bit stronger, but hey, clearly he didn't do his homework when setting defense against Thisk. Round 3, opponent put 2 GLs on D, and when Thisk got 2 ships, they placed Negotiator. Not unusual. And the Malevolence with Empire ships. I think that might have been a mistake. That had to have been a mistake. Nobody would do that on purpose. I can't see why anybody would do that on purpose. Anyway, Thisk 1-shot the board, got the flawless victory. His opponent was a DNS. Who doesn't show up to the final round?
I had that happen to me. I was just like,
I still don't understand why that happens. It bemuses me why.
Well, real life
would
can
get
happen
to the final.
It could be real life,
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, maybe that's where the mistake kicked in. He was just stupid busy and he accidentally set the wrong fleet, and then that was it. He just, he's off doing real life stuff for the next 24 hours. Anyway, 3-0 from Thisk.
All right, moving to the playbook, aka Fatal, who went 3-0, getting back to his winning undefeated ways. He says, everything is proceeding as I have foreseen. Good. All right, he says, round 1, both front walls held against them. They got frustrated and gave up. If I couldn't clear the front wall, Nev, I'd probably give up too. It says round 2, put up high efficiency. The moment they fell behind on it, they gave up. So another give up on the old playbooks designs. And then round 3, put up almost a 61 banner average on the ground against a guy from PvP Elite. His PvP Elite wasn't elite enough to handle the pressure, got 2 holes and a 40+ banner fish lead to boot. So playbook just doing what he does. Says, I can't wait for this next week. Cat was the last piece I've been waiting for. Now it's time to snap opponents in half. My defensive plan is going to crush people's souls.
Yeah, he's really, really taken out his
He's so pissed.
He is so pissed from that 2-on-1 the previous week. He's like, he is not taken any prisoners for the rest of the season. It's just not going to happen. He is going to be so nasty with his defenses for the next few weeks. That's no space station.
It's a moon.
A moon. Okay, that's No Moon with another 3-0. He did. I mean, he did still get the triple whammy, but it looks like it was a messy week with 7 losses.
Yeah, it
Round
does.
1, 460k lifetime banners, so didn't really give his round 1 opponent the respect that he should have. He attacked early and dropped 1 to Sith Empire. Moon lost to Ray with C-Watt as he locked in. And, he was playing around with crit damage versus health for countering JMK in Arena. Whoops. That's what you get for locking in with the wrong mods.
That's
what
right.
He squeaked this one with 16 banners. So, yeah, that's what you get for not respecting your opponent and for not checking your mods before locking. Round 2, definitely should have lost this one as he 3-shot a Padme team. The JKR counter failed, and then for some reason he tried to clean up with Hux and First Order against a Padme. Like, dude, seriously? Yeah. Anyway, it didn't turn out well. Let's just put it that way. He thought he was definitely done for, and he weirdly only cleared Moon's front zone and didn't bother with anything else. He conceded afterwards. C hidden in the back, scaring Orm off. Perhaps. So on to round 3, the final. He swears the more he plays this game, the worse he gets. Ground was okay. Tested out some different counters as his opponent couldn't clear the top ground territory. JTR and Phasma holding it down for the ladies again. Ships was another story. He somehow managed to take in a Hux capital ship with Galactic Republic against Rebels, and that is not one for the Gambit counter spreadsheet. Definitely not. Malevolence dealt with its second time of asking, and Radis squeaked a full clear against the Hux and First Order. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than skillful, and this was definitely one of those occasions. 3-0, triple whammy for Moon.
Very nice. Moving on to that damn Mace lover himself, Ram Bam. Thank you, man.
Inappropriate lover of Mace.
It's really, really inappropriate. Almost like just creepy. That being said, another tough week for Ram Bam, and Ram Bam went 1-2, Nev, and he didn't have kind words.
Did he not? No kind words.
I'm gonna read like I'm 5 years old. Untitled JC. People should be a div 1, say top 2 with roster. No way should be compared to me. Or I get the worst RNG ever. I went round 3 because Spawn Deep attack. Man. That's what he wrote.
Oh, so Rambam. So he. I'm gonna take a pun and say that he wasn't happy with this week.
He was not in a good mood.
Yeah,
but I had to read it like that because it's like I saw that. I'm like, that's all he put for his report. I'm like, well, we got to do it. So poor Ray-Ban 1-2.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that. Let's not torture him anymore.
I know.
Let's torture you. Yes, round.
Not much you can say. I mean,
and round 2, easy full clears. Opponents went super light on defense, and this led to you undermanning, undersizing. No difference. Winning. Third round in the finals was against an 890k lifetime player. It was a slugfest for both of you, with both of you derping.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you derped on ships because of a coin flip, and that was a loss. Hell of a match, though. Hell of a match.
Can't stand the goddamn coin flips in this game, man. It's really Relegate Kenobi versus Relegate Kenobi. All things equal, you lose a coin flip, and then you're like, shit, what can you do? I mean, it's gross. I mean, I'm just like, I don't know what else to do.
No. Hey, mate, I do. I absolutely 100% feel you. When you go, if you take a Malevolence in against a 500k negotiator fleet, if you do not hit Anakin's ship with that buff immunity, it's a coin flip. If you don't get the buff immunity on him, it's like you're going to get blowjobbed.
Yeah,
you're going to get blowjobbed, and you're going to lose.
you know the counter, you know what you need to do. I went in there with the right team, and then it just is nothing you can do. I
There's
mean,
nothing you can do.
So. I mean, I'm kind of rethinking a little bit of my strategies on ships. I mean, it was one of those things where he's a really good player. I've played him before. I think I've beat him before, but we're super even with mods and everything like that. I mean, he got stuck, and I got a hold with SLKR. I mean, it came down to the wire. But I mean, and then the second fleet was an Empire fleet, which I've taken out before, but I just had some RNG, with the Dodge coming in at the worst possible moment, and it came down to I just wasn't able to clear it. If I'd beaten that, I might have won, but it's just one of those things where this ship RNG it drives me nuts sometimes. I mean, the first 2 rounds I didn't even care. I mean, like it was full clear, no problems. I didn't even bother. I mean, they put like weak defenses on, but I mean, when you're facing someone of that caliber and you guys are both slugging and beating the crap out of each other because you're so even and you have to really think about it for that to be the way you lose, it's like, good God in heaven, man. So 2-1, as I said, you just get these matches and these things happen. So you just have to salute your opponent, say good job, and then
move on.
Yep.
Dust yourself.
All right.
And we start.
Oh, baby, it's the news.
It's nooch time, baby. Nooch.
Noochies. He says he went 2-1 this week, Nav. He says the nooch didn't feel like much went wrong here. Just lost a better opponent in the finals. I know, I did too. Says one note: 2 losses in a row with Janet Revan versus GG. Not sure what's going on there. So the highlight was Ness pulling off a last-minute win versus Mon Mothma. Miraculous. Only to have it register as a defeat for 0 banners. Clip and highlights edited. Nooch opened a ticket, but that still would have lost. So in the end, 2-1 for the Nooch.
Mudbum. We have no idea.
No clue. Didn't get a report. Don't even know if he joined. I have no idea what happened with the little mud guy, with this little mud clay hut.
No soup for you.
No, you're oh boy.
Lalinda, the Spanish conquistador.
My fa la la, my ding ding dong.
2-1. Round 1 win. Best attack ever. He got 2683. Super focused. Yeah, he just did really, really well. Round 2 loss. He was so sure he was going to win the round. So effing sure that he played without concentrating. He lost his concentration, he misclicked, and he sent a JKL team to Ray when he was trying to do another fight. We have all done it. We have all misclicked the wrong squad for our opponents, which is why you should always back out if you're not sure. He lost the fight and the round. Round 3, though, win. Easy fight. Nothing special to report about at the end of the day. 2-1 for Lalinda.
Very nice. All right. It says 2-1. I'm looking at the report that I have, Nev. It says he went 1-2. I'm not sure.
That may have been the error. Maybe if he's saying he went 1-2, then the error is from me.
Yeah. So he says 1-2 for Lazy Turtle. A lazy turtle. He says round 1, I was so busy doing cam runs and work that I forgot to set a defense. Embarrassing, but it happens. Round 2 says my opponent was very efficient and it was a good fight. I slipped on this Grievous team. That old, in the shower, you slip on the old Grievous. And that won it for him. He says round 3, I don't know what I did to deserve this defense this guy set, but he had 5 GLs to set none. In fact, he had some Gear 11 and Gear 12 squads in defense, and I obliterated the teams. And that's how he got his 1 win. So really a strange match. So so he could have been the wooden spoon, but he got the 1 and 2. So there you go.
Avoiding the wooden spoon is if just to avoid the wooden spoon at the end of the week. Yeah, it's a Kyoe coming back to his best with a 3-0. Round 1 faced a JMK for the first time in GAC, and he was able to one-shot it and the rest of his opponent's board. His opponent lost a few to Ray and also to Kyoe's JMK because of the teams used. They couldn't clear the back wall. So, obviously, very, very clever in team placement on the front because your opponent can't clear the back. Round 2, fantastic match with both competitors clearing each other's boards. Kyoe used his new favorite favorite counter versus JMK, and it worked great. Could have told me what it was. Didn't tell me what it was. Could have told
I
me.
mean,
He was able to
I don't know.
one-shot.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He was able to.
I don't
So,
know.
yeah, Kyo was able to get the flawless victory, and his Rex
Flawless
and
victory.
Wampa held. So, round 3 championship match was amazing. Amazeballs. He set Kiyomi up for failure nicely, having Slacker and Ray in the front wall, and he guessed wrong that he would have a GL in the back, let alone JMK with gas and Cam. He'd already used JML and C on Slacker and Ray. That left only Slacker to take down JMK, and Kiyomi's Slacker counter worked to perfection, even
Nice.
with a misclick. Walked away with the 55 banners, and that made all the difference. He did almost lose a battle with Malik solo versus Karth and Company with Vandal causing issues. Won with 6 seconds left. Whew. That ended up determining the match. Opponent waited for him to finish and knew what score they had to beat. Ended up winning by 1 stinking banner. Winning by 1 banner in round 3 with 6 seconds left to go. That's tense. 3-0, triple crown for Kiyomi.
Hey, it's better to win by 1 and be 3-0 than to lose by 2 and be 0-3. All right. Next up. Oh my God, man, Nevs. Woo! Go. Hey, Sky, what do you say? Cuz gonna win today, I guess. Oh boy, this is a rough week for Go Cubs. And he even says rough week, but I called it. Says, do not enter Chromium early. Lesson learned. Round 1, it says, pretty straightforward win. Got a few holds, including lifetime hold number 59 for Stormtrooper Han. So that was going well. It says, round 2, had a chance to win, but got terrible banners versus a Ray squad and a Best Scar squad that cost me the match. So it was 1-1, and then he gets into round 3. Says opponent cleared very efficiently. So it took a chance and lost to trying to solo Darth Revan with C. He got into his ultimate and died before he got to zippity zap zap, and then went into testing mode. 1-2 on the week, but with my JMK Cam and Cat, all options going into next week. Hopefully we can right the ship and get back on track. So, man, oh man, that's a rough week for Cubs. He had been on a nice little win streak, and
Yeah, he had been on a nice little run as well.
not did he lose, but then he lost twice. So,
You hate to see it.
Yeah.
Oh,
speaking of hating to see it,
Speaking of hating to see it, we're on
good
to
old
going
Thaddeus. That's what we expect from Thad. Okay, what excuses do we have this week?
Okay, so first he starts off his report by saying, "Am I really the first person to report?" Yes, Thad, you are the teacher's pet this week.
Hey,
that never happens. Like I have to bug him for reports. So for him to be the first person to report, interesting. So this week he went 1-2. Round 1 was a legitimate loss. No excuses. They both had full clears with 1 loss apiece. Thad's was due to a stupid choice against the team on his opponent's back row. Ultimately, he beat me as the rest of his wins were more efficient.
Sure.
Now, he says he was camping. He was camping during round 2.
Here we go.
No service. So he knew that it would ultimately be a loss, and it was. Round 3, he faced an auto deploy. He didn't get the full clear, but he did bring home the bacon and avoided that really, really nasty wooden spoon. Not a great week, but he's counting it as 50-50 because he didn't actually do anything.
He was camping.
He was camping. Yes, he was camping.
Yeah. So camping was the issue.
Camping was the issue.
There was no UFOs or
no UFOs. It wasn't the government's
interference.
fault.
There wasn't Bigfoots.
His opponent didn't contact his brother to do a surprise visit to distract him. No, it was all.
Yeah, there wasn't any surprise inspections from the health department.
That would have been actually quite amusing if he'd said he was camping and Bigfoot stole his phone. That would have that.
I was waiting for that to actually be the thing that he said. I read Sasquatch and he did, I let him do my JC and I lost. So
yeah.
All right. Speaking of Sasquatch, moving on to another abominable snowman in our GACenter. Sorry. The end all be all of GAC and its end all be all, who again went 3-0. He says 3-0, round 1, not much of a match, Nev. And he says, I one shot the board, opponent was only able to clear 1 zone. Well, that's what you expect when you face him. Round 2 says decent opponent who usually goes hard on defense. This guy two could only clear one zone of mine, so I guess he went a little too hard on his defense. And then round 3, Vacation GAC against an 850k lifetime opponent. He was able to one-shot my character zone, and it was ships that saved me with only a 15 banner win. You don't see that too often, Ev, with someone pushing end all to the limits, right?
No,
Getting
you
the full
don't.
clear. So if he only won by 15, that means that had end all sweating it because he's not used to that, and so.
No.
Doesn't matter. Win is a win is a win, and that's a 3-0 for end all be all.
We move on to Dr. Zeppers.
Oh no, Dr. Zeppers.
Dr. Zeppers with a 1 and 2. His first 2 matches, he was out GL'd. His opponents having all 5, with Dr. Zeppers only having 3. Now, he still did manage to full clear both his opponents,
Sure,
but he lost on banners. Last round, he full cleared. It wasn't pretty, but his opponent was apparently too busy to play, so he got the win. It's been a tough week for Dr. Zeppers. His mother has moved on to the angels in the sky, and we at the show would like to offer our condolences.
Hearts and prayers to you, my friend.
Salute you, sir. Salute you, sir.
All right. We move on to DPK, aka Deadpool Kyle, who's been on a nice little run here lately. But it kind of came to an end with a 2-1 this week. Still a solid week, but let's see what happened. He says, round 1, I finally saw my first GL on defense this month. He put the Basso JML team, and I needed literally 5 more seconds to beat it, but I didn't, and he timed out. The ships gave me fit as well, but got the full clear. My opponent struggled through my zones and didn't full clear. At the end of the round, I was in the top 100. People started playing his defense, which felt good. He won by a decent score. Yeah, it wasn't really that close. Says round 2 says, boy, this was a fun match. Opponent had 4 GLs to my 3 and was close to JMK. In front of ships, he placed all 4 GLs. Someone answered my prayers and gave me an actual team to beat. I saved SLKR and JML for offense. I got 3 of his ground troops in 1 shot. I opened up ships to find both, get 2 fleets on as well. I got 3 of them as 1 shot as well. I cleared his board with 1 shot. He dropped on GG and managed to lose. Opponent and him managed each other, and it was impressed I cleared his board. Hashtag feels bad. Hashtag still 1 shot his board. Round 3, guy put his non-ultimate Relic 8 Jedi Master Kenobi with trash. I dusted Gas clones off and pushed it in. Wasn't even close. My only GO on defense, meaning he had 2 for offense. I was pretty efficient and 1 shot his board with ease. My opponent struggled pretty hard. He dropped against Night Sister First Order Ray and waited too long, so didn't get the finish his attack. It was a breeze. So, he says, I felt bad losing round 2. He says, but definitely had fun beating 4 GLs. And all in all, he still feels pretty good about his week now.
Yeah, he does. DPK likes his 5v5. He hates 3v3, but he loves his 5v5.
He loves 5v5, but when it comes to 3v3, oh my sweet Jesus.
Yeah. And we move on to DB Official.
Oh no, DB Official, what happened? You'd been on a nice little streak there, DB.
My compatriot from across the pond, 2-1, round 1, opponent dropped no battles, but must have been crazy inefficient because they tied, despite Shack Troopers, crapping the bed versus a Grievous Newt. Then a freak Treya Scion lost to a very low-end Bugs team. Treya got slapped fast and Scion got stuck in ability block. And, just when he had the chance to kill Poggle with no taunting tank, Poggle dodged for a timeout. Gutted to lose via GP, but that's just the way it goes sometimes.
That's just the way it is.
Round 2 appeared that his opponent plays similar to DB by going very offensive and winning on efficiency. Sadly, DB's defense is still thicker, much thicker, and he was just unable to match DB's output. Back on winning. Round 3, a very comfortable victory in which his opponent got stuck on the front wall while DB cruised to a flawless victory. 2-1 despite the draw in round 1.
All right, moving on to the best cryptocurrency in the SWGOH universe. Of course, I'm talking about Bitcoin, who does what Bitcoin usually does. He went 3-0. He says, round 1, I was excited to fight at 870k lifetime opponents. So I realized he apparently got there by always keeping everything on offense and playing efficiency matches. So he put 4 GLs on defense. He got crushed. Round 2, another full offense person, so I gave him 4 GLs, and he cleared 1 zone and scored 2671 and crushed him. See, your enemy's driven for you. Round 3 says, this is the funniest match I've had in probably the last 3 seasons against a guildmate of the guy in my first round. Seems like they talked because he set SLK and JML in the back behind Ray, while he usually keeps everything for offense too. I got to play a slow Relic 7 SLKR and use a fast SLK mirror. Grievous versus Giant Master Luke, Vader versus Jake and some other fun stuff. Ended at 26-51 with everything one shot while he can only clear one zone. In the end, Bitcoin kicked the crap out of his competition this week for this easy 3-0.
We move on to Bulldog with a 3-0. Bulldog comes back, despite the fact that he failed to stream 2 of his matches due to family commitments.
That's
he
okay.
kept his promise to his viewers and set all 5 GLs on defense.
Nice.
It did the job. He prevented full clears on all 3 occasions. Round 1 was brutal for him on offense, particularly on ships. He opened up with some gambles just for the fun of it. Rebels versus Empire. I hate having to do that, but and things went further south than he could have imagined. He literally used every single ship he owned to eventually avoid disaster and get the full clear. Round 2, he went second and played it like a chicken. He knew he didn't need the full clearance. One of his GLs in the back, so it's always nice, isn't it? You clear the front door and you see a GL on the back. So he just punted it to make sure that he got everything else down for the win. Round 3, smoothest round, dropping only a single ship battle en route to full clearing a 3 GL defense. It was actually very similar to round 2, but he didn't know ahead of time what he needed, as they were both battling together at the same time. So 3-0 for Bulldog.
All right, we move on to my Ranger brother from another mother. And of course, I'm talking about Ando Calrissian, who went 3-0 this week, having a good GAC season so far. It says round 1, found out he was facing another streamer who's from Hungary. He said a tough defense and definitely tried to trick me. I still one-shot everything. He failed to clear my board. Easy win for Ando. Next person was 860k lifetime banners. My opponent was a bit sloppy, but he turned out even worse. He could not full clear me, and he got another 400 banner win. Not a problem for Ando. So it's round 3. Not the opponent I was expecting, but because he beat the guy with significantly higher lifetime banners. But that's why lifetime banners isn't everything. I one-shot his board and got a little sloppy. Wasn't able to full clear, or he didn't. And Ando, of course, did his thing and won by another 400 banners. It says that means this season I have not been full cleared, and all of them have had 700k lifetime banners, which most of them were well over 800k. Extended rosters definitely seem to be throwing people for a loop. Hashtag, get ready for the hashtags. Here we go, Nev.
Okay, here we go.
These hashtags are required. Hashtag, what's a full clear? Hashtag, what a time to be alive? And hashtag, alt lives do matter, Nev.
Only 4 hashtags this week?
No, yeah, but they were long ones.
Yeah, they were long ones. And there is the bottom half of Division 2. Mm-hmm. Do you know who I don't see in the bottom half of Division 2 at the moment? Ando. He's made it into the top.
He's done well.
You have done well. You have done well. You have escaped the bottom half of Division 2. But let's see how things are shaking at the top. Ooh, look at that. Still 4 people undefeated.
It's a monster division, man.
Still
it's ridiculous.
It's like 4 people on no loss, 2 on 1, 1 on 2, and 4 people on 3. I mean, that's just bonk. I mean, that is such an impressive array of competitive gackers. That really, really is. I mean, yeah. Go Cubs was up there. I mean, bad week for Go Cubs. I mean, to lose 2 in 1 week.
You can have, and it can happen to any of us. It can happen to any of us. I mean,
yeah. But yeah, I mean, when you're as competitive as the people that are in this half of the division, it really, really will hurt you to lose 2 in 1 week. I mean, to lose 2 over a month hurts, but to lose 2 in a week, yeah, not something you want. Not something you want.
I mean, I would say you'd be really good and go 10-2, 11-1. You're having
exactly.
But when you're in this kind of GAC and you're competing against these guys, I mean, they usually go 12-0. So even though you're 11-1, you're just like,
what the fudge? What the fudge?
Oh, God.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to have a little bit of a pause so that we can do a commercial break.
SWGOH.GG is your one-stop site for the raw data behind the game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. From complete gear lists to intuitive stats behind all of your favorite holotable heroes. SWGOH.GG has it all. With a .GG account, you can get a complete view of your own roster, see how you match up against other players, and even check out the history of your own Grand Arena Championship matches. You can also see what your opponent used on you to give you a better understanding of counters and team compositions to improve your gameplay. Did you know that they also have some great Patreon features as well? Ad-free browsing of their site, guild information, and manual information requests are included in their 3 levels of Patreon support. Check out the site for more details. That's SWGOH.GG. Unleash your holotable potential today.
Hey there, listeners. Merchandise specialist Critty K here. Do you enjoy the Escape Pod and want to support the channel and get something a little extra for yourself as well? Head on over to tpublic.com/user/theescapepodcast and grab a Team Neil, Team Paul, Critty Play, or many other fun Padawan designs on your choice of shirt, cup, sticker, mask, or even a magnet. And be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast Discord and get the latest info on the other designs I make as well. Sometimes there's even a sale going on, so it is smart to stop on by. Thank you for supporting the Escape Podcast.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, that was nice.
It's Division 1 time. It's
yeah.
time to cover the big boys. So, who is our first big boy for Division 1? It's Warrior. Ooh, coming in with a 1 and 2. He does have legitimate reasons, though. He had to work 8 days straight and then go directly to a wedding. So he didn't get a whole lot of time to focus on Grand Arena this week. And then, obviously, as a result of that, he went 1 and 2. Not a lot to say other than, he just didn't show up mentally this week for Grand Arenas. And, he's man enough to say it. See, that's what you do, Thaddeus. You own it. You own it, just like Warrior presents.
There you go. All right. Next up, we've got my boy Zareth, who went 3-0 this week, but he says 3-0 week, but barely Nev. Says round 1 up. This is funny. Says up against a guy named Senator URFUCT. I'll let you just pronounce that in your head. Yeah. Says his name felt to intimidate, and after he couldn't clear any of my back zones, he had the discourtesy of not changing the "you're" in his name to "I'm." Round 2, this guy cheesed me, and only my double fluxion ship saved me. He lost by over 20, but without fleets, this would have been a loss. This is round 3 against a guy who is commonly in competition top 10, including this round. I placed 4 GLs, Darth Revan, CLS, GS, Padme, and a few other good teams. He couldn't clear. I got a one-shot win. All did well. They are both currently in the top 10. My main is also close on top 10 as well, and hashtag Alt Lives Matter per Endo as well.
On to Tassinix. Round 1, first opponent is a fellow Shadowlands member. He set a decent board, but dropped 4 attacks. And Tassinix had 1 drop and was pretty much more efficient. Round 2, strong opponent who only dropped 1 battle of fleet. On attack, Tassinix checked his BAM team before he used Aura Bounty Hunters, saw that the speeds were unfavorable to him, and he still tried it. Predictably, he lost. PikachuFace.jpg. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming that everybody out there else does. I also had he also had 1 drop on fleet. Ultimately, this cost him the match. When math tells you no bueno, believe it. Round 3, this opponent is either cursed or blessed. When he scouted his last week, he'd fought 2 auto sets and only 1 real match, where he used every good team on offense. Checking back on the previous 5v5 season, this guy got week after week of auto sets, so he was very difficult to actually do scouting. He guessed that he would go all offense again and was right. His defense was riddled with Gear 12s, Zetaless characters, even a couple of GLs. He did one-shot the board, but wasn't as efficient as the attacks that Tassanix put. It was a 39 banner gap. No love for cheeses. They must be punished. 2-1 for Tassanix.
All right, we move on to the man who likes to do everything solo because, according to him, teamwork is just not where you find it. And of course, I'm talking about the man Solo, who had another strong week. He says round 1, opponent did array and pray. He one-shotted it. He says he one-shot my board and still lost by 39. You know, it says round 2, opponent placed a strong defense and was able to steal some banners from me, but then he couldn't full clear. So another nice, easy, smooth win for Solo. And then round 3 says opponent had 2 GLs in the front zone along with a really well modded Darth Kermit team. He then hit a 3rd GL on the back. It was difficult, but I was able to one-shot the board. He didn't attack. He says hashtag. Our hashtag's mandatory, and then hashtag my alt is my malt. What is this? My alt is all sound defeated. What the hell are you talking about,
competitors? If you're gonna give us hashtags to read, make them legible.
I mean,
you're gonna put a hashtag in your report. Make it so that we can read it.
I mean, and if I read it the way it is my altisol sound defeated. That's the way it's literally how it is. I mean, good lord.
3-0. Okay, we're on to Indigo. 2-1. GAC has been a struggle for Indigo. That's what he says. Round 1 got an auto deploy. He was able to get a full clear. Opponent was DNS. Round 2 up against an efficient opponent, but one-shot Indigo's board. Indigo dropped one battle. One battle! And that was the difference. Round 3 carefully planned out a defensive board, and each attack was up against an opponent who has beaten him before and is very efficient, but usually waits until after their opponent has attacked. He did his battles first without dropping any and had great efficiency. And then guess what? His opponent did not show up. 2-1 for Indigo.
All right. We move on to the sexy lightsaber builder, the Buddha, the man, the hair moaner. Of course, I'm talking about Loki from RSG. And my brother went 2-1 this week. He says round 1 was a loss. He says hats off to my opponent. He laid down 3 GLs and so did I. Great slug class. I tried Bad Batch Shock on his Jedi Master Kenobi Bad Batch team and I got stomped. He says I barely cleaned up with 501st. This is the second time Relic Bad Batch didn't work for me. We both full clear, but his opponent was a little bit more efficient. But not to worry, his homie Slick Rick from Call got revenge for him. Round 2 was a win. There's another grinding one. This time I tried JML on Jedi Master Kenobi Bad Batch and got stomped. I was there for this one too. It's the second time in a row I got stomped by Jedi Master Kenobi Bad Batch. I cleaned up with Nukem, no problem. Should have just used this team instead. So I decided to try my own Bad Batch on his GG team, and I got stopped again. I don't know what to say. Maybe Relic 5 Bad Batch or defective. Third match, my own Bad Batch let me down. I lucked out and still put a tough enough defense that my opponent couldn't clear. And he got stuck on the back wall. And so that was his 300-point win. Round 3 says I rolled over the same map from the second round and outsmarted my opponent once again. I blocked my opponent from reaching ships, and I proceeded full clear. I screwed up facing his Ray team and his SLKR team. 2 shots on both. But really, they were trying to miss plays, but had the right cleanup team. So nice win for Loki, 27-79 to 21-02. So 2-1 for Sir Loki.
On to Gom. Good old Maurice from Operation Metaverse with another 3-0. He is having one hell of a season. First round, epic confrontation against another 900k-ish lifetime opponent. Battle of efficiency to the end. Gom performed better on the ground as he did lose a ship battle, but he still won by 8 banners. First time he's been one shot in a very long time, so excellent job. Gives props to his opponent. Could have gone either way. Round 2, rematch against the opponent from the first round of a previous week, Apoc from PvP Elite. He placed a stronger defense and performed much better on offense than he had previously, but he also placed Gom also placed a stronger defense. He couldn't clear, and then Gom slopped his way to another victory. Round 3, good opponent from Team Instinct, placed everything on defense and lost battle after battle on offense, which you kind of expect if you're going to place a really, really tough defense. But he kept just enough to clear. Gom did. His opponent didn't. And Gom picked up another 2,700 banner win. 3-0 to Gom.
Gom. All right, we move on to E-Grace Gamer, and unfortunately from E-Grace, I did not get a report.
Shame. I'm ringing the bell. Shame.
Yep. So 2-1, solid week, but I can't tell you any more than that.
On to Arnold. 2-1, round 1, a dominant performance from the Empire's gaming division this week as the Grand Admiral came out on top with a convincing, flawless victory. Round 2, dominance wasn't the way this round as the Empire lost 2 undersized battles, 1 against Padme clones and 1 against Ewoks. The Ewoks didn't get to feast on the spoils of victory though, as Jawas came in and cleaned up. Round 3, a round 1 and lost in space as the Grand Admiral failed to clear either of the squads in Fleet Node on the first occasion and had to double tap them both. His opponent did not. 2-1 for Grand Admiral Arnold.
There we go. Last but not least, we have Dialard using those Twi'lek tactics. He says
sexy Twi'lek tactics.
He says 2-1, Ranger Danger. I'll read you over. He says round 1, I went up against some guy named Klesso. No biggie. Just kidding. He says the match was epic, and if not for some favorable RNG on my part, he would have beat me easily. He says round 2, loss. I timed out on a C versus Ray battle. If I had 5 more seconds, I would have won the battle as well as the whole match. Sometimes it just comes down to that one mistake. You know, as Batman said, Nev, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Nope.
Round 3 says it was a win up against a casual GAC player. I went through his board without too much difficulty and decided not to play. I'll take it. So 2-1 for Dialar.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There is the Division 1 table. Good old Maurice, the only undefeated competitor so far this season. We're at the halfway point, and it still looks like a strong division, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It's anyone's division. I mean, pretty much all the divisions are anyone's divisions at this point. It's so competitive. It's ridiculous. So, I mean, anybody can take it. I mean, we still have a lot of GAC left to go. So, boy.
Yeah, we still got 6 weeks for this season. 6 weeks. So we are at the halfway point. So, yes, things are looking up for everybody. We'll see what happens when 3v3 comes back, because obviously now we've got GK and we've got Commander Ahsoka. So it's going to be interesting. The remaining 2 weeks of 5v5 and 4 weeks of 3v3. It's going to be interesting. Very, very interesting. So interesting. Anyway, we are going to have a short break, and we'll see you on the other side.
Hey there, listeners. Merchandise specialist Critty K here. Do you enjoy the Escape Pod and want to support the channel and get something a little extra for yourself as well? Head on over to tpublic.com/user/theescapepodcast and grab a Team Neil, Team Paul, Critty Play, or many other fun Padawan designs on your choice of shirt, cup, sticker, mask, or even a magnet. And be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast Discord and get the latest info on the other designs I make as well. Sometimes there's even a sale going on, so it is smart to stop on by. Thank you for supporting the Escape Podcast.
SWGOH.GG is your one-stop site for the raw data behind the game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. From complete gear lists to intuitive stats behind all of your favorite holotable heroes. SWGOH.GG has it all. With a .GG account, you can get a complete view of your own roster, see how you match up against other players, and even check out the history of your own Grand Arena Championship matches. You can also see what your opponent used on you to give you a better understanding of counters and team compositions to improve your gameplay. Did you know that they also have some great Patreon features as well? Ad-free browsing of their site, guild information, and manual information requests are included in their 3 levels of Patreon support. Check out the site for more details. That's SWGOH.GG. Unleash your holotable potential today.
And we're back, ladies and gents.
Hey.
Yay, thoughts and acknowledgements time. So thank you for all of the follows. Thank you for the raids. Very, very much appreciated. It's been an excellent week. Next week is going to be even more epic because lots of people have got their GKs and their Tarnos, and you were telling me during the countdown earlier that it's just stupid. People are instantly jumping to the conclusion that it's just broke.
Oh, God. Well, they can, but it's not. It's doing what it's supposed to do, and we kind of saw this when we saw her kit that this was going to be what she did with JMK, and she's doing what she's going to do with JMK. If you got JMK and you relicked him and made the investment, and if you got the teams and you were able to get Commander Ahsoka and get a relic 8 and stuff, then you have an advantage. I faced 5 teams. I tested out on all the different combinations of GLs, put it on auto, had no diff beating any team on offense. And that was on auto. It was absolutely gross. And this is arena, not GAC, arena with like the tops of the tops. And I'm in an old crusty shard. So there's some really good stuff there. And I had no problems. The only way that I was looking at like where I am in my arena, and that's because the other guys that had the same team, you can beat it with the same team, but that's all I'm really seeing at the moment. It is unbelievably strong, and people are just like scratching their heads, like because that first move, it's you have the speed on them. Kenobi does his thing, gives it over to her. She goes and kills somebody. Unless it's like, you have a tank's going to die unless it's Jedi Absolute. And then, but I put that team on auto against Basilid Luke and just see what happened. Ate it apart, just ate it alive like it was nothing. I mean, Kenobi gets into his damn ultimate quick. It's pretty spectacularly OP, dude. It is OP. I mean, Commander Ahsoka is the real deal. That little lady is doing some crazy stuff.
So how's your week looking? You must be watering at the mouth with the prospect of what you're going to do to your opponents.
Oh yeah, I'm putting 2 GLs down because with Kenobi and 1 other GL, I have no issues, especially with all my other counters. So I'm going to make my defense pretty much the same. I'm just debating: do I put General Match Kenobi with her on defense, or do I keep it for offense? Because I know that's a guaranteed win. I know. I mean, after what I saw today, I'm like, yeah, that's a nice, easy, smooth clear. Or do I make my opponent's life hell on earth trying to beat that, especially if they don't have it? If they don't have it, they're in big trouble because that is a really nasty thing to have to face. So I'm going to think on it tonight. I'll set my defense tomorrow and make a decision on it. But yeah, I mean it's pretty spectacular, man. I mean, damn, Commander Ahsoka is everything she was built out to be. She is that good.
Well, I have an opponent with no history, so I've already set my defense.
Well, that's good luck.
Yeah, all my everybody in my group. I'm at 800k, and everybody else is between 500 and 550k. So, and half the people in my group don't have histories. They've all got sweet rosters, but no history. And it's just a pain in the ass. I have no idea what I'm going to do. So I've just gone for a banner stealing defense, and I'll keep my fingers crossed and hope that they don't go FU. Or worse, I'd rather face an FU defense. I really would rather face an FU defense than an auto deploy. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that my opponents don't auto deploy. Really, because they're so dull, they're so boring. I want some, excitement, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the only other person in my group of 8 with a GL gets matched up with me this week, because I spent months getting a GL and I want to use it against a worthy opponent. So, knowing my luck, I'll get a Ray and Pray, and I'll be like, "Oh, you son of a bitch." Anyway, anything else for me, Ranger?
No, I think we're good. Why don't you push those buttons? Let's get the hell out of here.
Will do. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Ta-ta for now.